clapping sounds, you've probably seen this video clip about 100 times already, but I have to talk about it because it's totally crazy. The best basketball team in the eastern part of the country was getting beaten really badly in one game, so their best player tried to get into a fight with his own coach. Sure, this might not be one of the wildest fights in basketball history, but it might be a bad sign for the Heat's chances of winning the big championship. Could this obvious tension keep growing until Miami falls apart? Or is this exactly what the Heat needed as they get ready for the playoffs? For most of the season, the Miami Heat have been one of the best teams in the whole league, and they've mostly done it the way you might expect a Miami Heat team to win, by playing great defense. They rank 5th in how well they stop other teams from scoring. They're 4th in keeping other teams from scoring many points per game. They're 4th in stopping other teams from making 3-point shots. And they're 4th in stopping other teams from making shots in general. Their offense is more average compared to other teams. They rank 12th in how well they score points, but they're the best 3-point shooting team in the league, and they've almost never been playing with all their players healthy at the same time, other than Duncan Robinson and PJ Tucker. Every single player on the team who plays a lot has missed at least 12 games, if not way more. This includes 20 missed games from both Bam and Jimmy Butler. This makes this team's amazing success not just impressive, but pretty scary for the rest of the league. That is, if the Heat can stop getting in their own way. On March 23rd, the Heat were in the middle of getting beaten badly in the third quarter when a timeout turned into a full-on screaming match. Coach Spo and Butler had to be pulled apart from each other. A clipboard got slammed down dramatically, and it really looked like they were about to start throwing punches. Coach Chapo handled the argument like a boss, telling reporters that the argument was over where they were going out for dinner that night. But Jimmy Butler has been unusually quiet about it. On one hand, emotions run high during basketball games, and passionate players and coaches are going to clash once in a while. I mean, Dwayne Wade got into big fights with both Coach Riley in 2006 and Coach Spo in 2012. Both years, the Heat went on to win a championship. On the other hand, this wasn't your average losing of tempers, and the guy who seemed to start it all does have a pretty messy history with his former teams in Chicago. Butler called his coach out in the newspapers. He had a bunch of heated arguments with Joakim Noah. Then he publicly said that his teammates didn't care as much as he did. It's not like Jimmy was totally wrong to do or say all these things while he was on the Bulls. But this is the sort of stuff you keep between the team and definitely don't bring to the newspapers. Unless, of course, you're a bit of a toxic teammate. Butler was eventually traded to Minnesota in the summer of 2017, and it wasn't long until more drama started up again. A week before the 2018 season's media day, Jimmy asked for a trade from Minnesota. The team didn't want to give up their all-star player. They just traded for a guy who helped the team reach the playoffs for the first time in 13 years. So Jimmy showed up to practice, jumped on a team with the third-string players, and started absolutely destroying his teammates in a scrimmage the entire time. Butler was trash-talking, shouting, and cursing at his teammates and coaches. Butler played just 10 games that season with Minnesota and then was finally traded to Philadelphia with the Sixers. Things weren't quite as dramatic, but there were rumors of disagreements between him and Coach Brett Brown, and his time there was short. Knowing all this about Butler seems to make his fight with Coach Spo a lot more scary. He's a great player who wants to win more than anything, but his emotions get the best of him. And he just kind of doesn't know how to get along with, like, anybody. It's hard to imagine that this moment was just a weird one-time confrontation, especially because confrontation seems to happen wherever Butler goes. However, there's one big difference between every other team Jimmy has played for and this one. Everyone who's into basketball has heard about the Heat cult. I mean, culture. It's a joke at this point, and it's taking credit for all the good things that have happened to Miami over the years. But what does culture have to do with it, and what does it mean anyway? Our mission in Miami was that we wanted to become the hardest working, best conditioned, most professional, unselfish, toughest, most admired team in basketball. Heat culture is why Shaq completely dropped his attitude when he joined Miami. Why role players give up everything for the team's success. And why everyone from your staff to your superstars are expected to live up to a certain standard. So when I got to D Wade, I was like, I know you heard all the stories. It's your team. You're the man. You're the CEO. I'll be the consultant. One stat that shows Heat culture better than anything else is defense. Defense is 99% hard work and dedication. The Heat have been top 10 in the league in keeping other teams from scoring many points per game for the last 13 years in a row. 10 of those years, they were top 5. This means the Heat have just out every other basketball team, whether it was D Wade running the show, or the Big Three, or Goran Dragic and Dion Waiters, or Butler and Bam. This team always plays good defense, and they almost always win more games than they lose since 1997. Miami as a team has won the 4th most games, the 3rd most playoff games, and they're tied for the 3rd most championships. You don't have decades of success like this without the entire organization getting something incredibly right. Plus, there's been plenty of drama before this Butler incident that Miami has made it through. Still, knowing Jimmy's history with other teams, it makes you wonder if the Heat are just one bad loss or 2 away from Jimmy absolutely losing it, right? Now it seems like the path to the basketball championship is about as wide open as it's been in the last decade. And betting on a team with championship experience, a president with almost as many rings as he has fingers, and a 14-year head coach who's been to the mountaintop twice over seems pretty safe. But let's just say it won't be surprising if clipboards start flying sometime in the middle of the 1st round, especially if the Heat have the bad luck of catching the Brooklyn Nets. However it goes, it should be interesting. And everyone other than Miami Heat fans will be grabbing their popcorn if round 2 suddenly starts up. Dot, what do you think? Was the Butler Coach Spo drama something that Heat fans need to worry about? Or was it just a heated moment that will lead to another Miami championship? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed these longer videos, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. I have a ton of awesome content coming out, and I always make my videos for the Henry Hoops audience. So if you don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button. Peace.